became the queen of a great nation and learned to put others' needs before her own. Esther was very beautiful. She was also very brave. Esther risked her own life for the people around her. She saved her friends. Some of you may be familiar with this story. Others may be hearing it for the first time. It's an amazing story. Let's begin. Our story opens in the land of Persia a long time ago. Esther lived in Persia with her cousin Mordecai. Mordecai worked in the king's palace. The king of Persia, King Xerxes, was searching to find a new queen.
Ice cream. Bilis yun.
Choose a new queen. Bring all the beautiful women in the kingdom to the palace, and the one that pleases most will be my new wife and queen.
Meanwhile, in the field, Mordecai is talking with Esther.
You must go to the palace, Esther. It is required of you.
Yes, Mordecai.
Esther, wait. There is one more thing. You must not let anyone know that you are a Jew. Do you understand?
Yes, I have.
All of the beautiful women in the kingdom were brought to the palace. Esther was one of these young women. Esther stayed in the palace for 1 year. The king's servants cared for her, gave her perfume and other special things. Esther was kind and the king's servants liked her very much. Soon, 12 months passed. It was time for Esther to go before the king. King Esther King Xerxes loved Esther more than all the other women and chose her to be his new queen.
You, Esther, are now my queen.
I'm greatly honored by you.
I shall throw a feast, a great party to celebrate you.
The king still didn't know that Esther or Mordecai were Jews. At that time, there was a man named Haman. Haman was a very bad man. He was selfish and thought he was more important than anyone else. He made the people bow down to him. But when Haman asked Mordecai, Mordecai did not bow down to him. Mordecai knew that God tells us not to worship any man. We are only supposed to worship God. Haman was furious. He wanted to get rid of Mordecai. But instead of just getting rid of Mordecai, Haman decided he would get rid of all the Jews.
I'll get rid of you. Better yet, is a Jew. So I get rid of all the Jews.
Haman made reply and went straight to the king's palace. He told the king lies. He told the king that there were people in his land that did not respect him or his laws and would soon cause trouble for the king and his kingdom.
Who are these people? O king, they are the Jews, your majesty. I have a plan to get rid of them.
The king sent out a proclamation throughout the kingdom to get rid of every Jew. When Mordecai and all the Jews heard this news, they began to fast and cry. Esther heard the crying and sent out servants to find out what was wrong. Esther was told about Haman's plan and the king's proclamation. Mordecai sent a special message to Esther through a messenger. He wanted Esther to go before the king and plead for her friends, the Jew, to be saved.
I cannot go to the temple of the king. Allah is good for me. Sin against the Lord. I was looking for my king. I could begin if he does not go to his temple to me.
Mordecai replied to Esther's message.
Remain silent. If you do, you will be destroyed along with all of your friends, the Jews. Maybe this was the reason God has made you a king of this time.
Esther agreed to go to the king.
Tell Mordecai to get all the Jews to fast and pray for 3 days. I will go to the king. If I perish, I perish.
He held out his golden scepter to her.
What do you wish? Whatever it is, I will give it to you. You can have my kingdom.
This is the king. Would you and Haman come to a banquet? I will prepare for you today.
Bring Haman with me, that may enter at us.
So the king and Haman went to the banquet that Esther had prepared. At this banquet, the king again asked Esther what it was she wanted.
What it is that you want, whatever it is, I will give it to you. Even if you want half of my kingdom.
If it pleases the king, come with Haman to another banquet, and I will prepare it for you tomorrow. Then I will tell what it is that I want.
Haman was very happy and proud that he had been invited to both banquets. He called for his friends and family and bragged to them about his great wealth and position as prince in the kingdom.
Esther invited no one but me to come to the king to his banquet. She has invited me to come to them.
So the next day, the king and Haman went to eat with Queen Esther again. The king asked Esther,
What it is that you want, Esther? Whatever it is, I will give it to you. Even if you want half of my kingdom.
If the king is with me, I ask that, save me and my people, the Jews.
Who would hurt you or any of your family?
This wicked Haman is our enemy.
Take him away!
the king had Haman taken away. He made a new plan to
Bakit
save the
nakangiti?
Jews and Queen Esther. Esther and all the Jews were safe because Esther was brave. Esther's courage made a big difference. You can make a difference in your friends' lives too, just like Esther.